and I'm feeling good.
Now, something we covered in our last episode was the trial, the case brought against a priest in Italy by an atheist of that priest's acquaintance, who wanted this brought to trial he wanted to charge the priest with abusing common credulity, right? Basically running a scam.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we had at that time. Now 4 weeks have gone by, and there have been developments. I've got the first story, and Dennis has the finale.
Yeah, I'll follow up.
This is from Luigi Cascioli's webpage. Luigi is the atheist in question, right? Mm-hmm. This is from this is a report from the hearing at the Court of Viterbo on January 26. And this is apparently Luigi writing. The parish priest, Don Enrico Righi, was absent as foreseen. So that's the priest being sued, didn't show up.
Didn't show up.
Mr. Cascioli's attorney-at-law, lawyer Mauro Fonzo, spoke first. In his public speech, he brought in, as support to demonstrate the foundation of the accusations brought forward in the denunciation, many examples of exegesis. Exegetists.
Okay.
That's the word here.
Exegetists, people who are interpreting Scripture.
That deny the historical figure of Jesus, placing among them also others of Christian faith and believers, such as Renan. Attorney Severo Bruno, that's the attorney for the priest, ignoring all evidence concerning the existence of Christ, diverted the main subject of the accusation, saying that the blame of a possible historical forgery should not be put on Don Righi, but on those who sustained it before him. That is to say, this is the defense for the priest was not, as we kept hearing in all these news stories, right, where the priest kept saying, there's bagloads of evidence that Jesus existed, right? That's not the defense that was actually brought in the hearing. The defense actually brought in the hearing is, you can't go after my client, the priest, because he's just doing what he was ordered by the church, which has, if anybody is responsible for a cover-up here, it's them, and not him personally.
Right.
So
that carries a lot of, that should carry a lot of weight.
For all atheists to know, because this case has now been thrown out, and Dennis has that story, right? But it's important for us to all be aware that for the short amount of time the case existed, the defense was not evidence proving the existence of Jesus.
They didn't have any.
The priest's lawyer was trying to defend him by saying, yeah, maybe Jesus didn't exist, but even if he didn't, my client is not responsible for making up that lie.
Right.
So he's off the hook.
Right. So you're not responsible for uttering lies not of your invention.
Yeah. Luigi goes on. This is what his follow-up. In other words, he meant to say that in case it comes out that Christ had never really existed, the blame is to be put on the authors of the sacred texts and not on the priest,
who conveniently can't
be
sued.
Who only repeated what others wrote. As if the one who sells poison is not responsible for the consequences he produces if the formula was invented by others.
Right.
It is in this form of defense, aiming to unload on now no more existing persons. This English is not Luigi's first language.
That's funny, because I was just remembering another situation where the exact opposite was argued. There was this huckster who wrote a book saying that you legally don't have to pay any taxes in the United States.
Yeah, I hate those people.
And some guy read the book and didn't pay any taxes, and he got dragged to court because, in fact, you have to pay your taxes.
Right.
And on the side, they picked up this guy who had written the book, and
Right.
his defense was, "Hey, I only wrote the book. I didn't tell him to believe it."
Oh man!
All right, let me finish Luigi's thing here. This is an atheist hero, guys. It is in this form of defense, aiming to blame people who no longer exist and who are therefore not prosecutable by the law, that the Church demonstrates all her weakness, knowing that she will never be able to prove the historical existence of Christ. Her only aim now is to find every pretext, even the vilest, to make the suit fail, and that instead, if it were to go on, the Church knows only too well that it could end up with a sentence that would mark her definite end.
I don't think I've ever wanted an applause track more.
That's
Yay.
nice.
Well done, Luigi. He's got a website. You can send him emails, support and thanks and encouragement and stuff.
Yeah.
Dennis?
And here's my story about what
Unfortunately,
happened.
Of hate mail,
it's
but,
over now.
Yeah. Now, this is not accurate. It says, no, yes it is. Okay. An Italian atheist lost his legal crusade against the Catholic Church on Thursday. He didn't lose the case. He lost his attempt to...
But note how it's phrased that way so they can use the word lost.
Yeah. When a judge rejected his attempts to sue a priest for saying that Jesus existed 2,000 years ago,
And by the way,
priest's lawyers
that's
said.
still not accurate because he was not going after the entire Catholic Church
Right.
there. He was going after that one priest.
Right.
This is relevant. To go on.
Luigi Cassioli, 72, had argued his hometown priest and former schoolmate had effectively broken an Italian law meant to protect the public from being conned. But instead of granting Cassioli his request to bring the case to court, the judge recommended magistrates investigate him for slandering Enrico Rihi. Rihi's lawyer, Bruno Severo, said. The 76-year-old priest said he was delighted by the news. Thank God it's over, Rahi told Reuters. I'm glad it has ended like this because... Reuters. I'm glad it ended like this because imagine if it had gone on and on. Oh, yes! We can well imagine! Cassioli, author of a book entitled The Fable of Christ, said the court had not yet informed him of the ruling, but he was not surprised, and said he would appeal to Italy's highest court, and then to The Hague.
Yeah, so he intends to keep going on.
He intends to go with
it. And in the earliest news stories about this, Luigi was already saying, I don't expect to win this case.
Right. Asked about the possibility he would be tried for slander, Cassioli chuckled, saying that to prove he lied, prosecutors would have to prove that Jesus existed.
I love that.
Bring it on.
They don't have any proof, he said.
Right.
Otherwise, they would have brought it out. They would have
Beautiful.
brought it
So
all out.
that trial is over, but
Awesome.
he's fighting on. And again, I do encourage everybody listening to the show. Find the guy's website. I don't have the URL offhand, but the name is Luigi Cascioli. LuigiCascioli. And if you search for that, I'm sure you can find his page.
I wonder if he needs monetary support.
I can't see how it would hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
So.
I'll have to check.
All right.
I just put the link up in the chat room as well.
Thank you, man.
So, and you can go to nonprofitsradio.com and look at the chat transcript later.
And I'm feeling good.